Hello, 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 everyone. Am I clearly audible to all of you and visible? I think I'm visible already. Let's just quickly check on YouTube too. Let me do the quick checks. Yeah, seems like everything is working fine. Okay, let me just put the message on this. Okay, done. Chalo. Let's get started. Can I have some quick plus ones if you guys have attempted or seen the contest yet on Code Forces? How many of you attempted the contest? Quick plus one. Till that time, let me just quickly open up the Code Forces contest. So I hope all of you have seen that there was this doc that has the link. So if you haven't joined the Telegram group, do join the Telegram group. That is where the the Telegram group link is in the description. On the doc link is also there in the description. In the doc, there is the link to the contest. If you go and click on that, I think you will be able to see the contest. And I'll just share it on the screen anyways, and we'll discuss the contest questions. Okay. Right. So the contest is visible to all, right? Solved four questions. Yeah. So before we start, quick question to all of you. How many questions did you solve in the contest? Let me see. 4, 3, 4. Okay. I can see a lot of threes and fours. Four. Okay. Four. Great. I think four is a good mark. Three is also a good mark, I feel. Okay. Five. Okay. Chandrachur, I think more was possible probably, but if you're doing solo, then time might be a little lesser. Okay. Okay. So let's see the standings. I think a lot of people were giving this. More than 500 teams participated, so that's a very very good participation, and probably a lot of teams were able to solve. Like, I expected someone to solve all eight probably. I don't know, like eighth one was very very hard. So I think I think seven is doable in contest. Eight is not. I feel it was fairly hard, and I'll discuss the idea that is there in the eighth problem. So I was expecting seven only as the final ranking, but then one team did, I think, solve the last problem. Okay, so we'll discuss the questions one by one, and probably we all know the top three who will get the prizes. I hope all of the people in the teams have registered on the registration form already. So make sure that if your team has not registered yet, please register your team on the form that was shared on the Google Drive. I'll show the form once. This is the doc, and in this doc there is this form also. So please make sure that you fill this form for prizes and stuff, right? And since the site the goodies are sponsored by Algozenit, so you need to have the 100% profile completion so that the address and stuff is there and it is delivered from is itself. Okay. So this is one thing that you need to do. Rest everything we will just have on Code Forces, right? Chalo, let's get started now with the questions. I think enough people, everybody who is supposed to be here is here already now. Let's get started with the questions, and I think we'll go through the questions in straight A to H order. There is nothing much to discuss around this. I hope all of you have read the problems because I'll not go through the problem statements much, right? And we'll discuss some strategies in which possibly you could have divided the team questions in your teams. How could you have optimized during the contest during ICPC. Note that the questions here were a little more algorithmic, so probably ICPC will have some more ad hoc flavors to it as well. Plus, you will not have these many questions. This set was created for practice rather than being 100% exact replica. Okay, so this was more of a practice so that you get a good balance of team and practice among yourselves, right? I mean, among your team members. So that was the main agenda rather than teaching you something new in the questions, but probably you'll learn a lot if you solve all the questions, right? So we'll start from A straight to H. That's the goal. Probably I'll give the hints of H, but H is a very, very hard problem. Also, some people are saying that the submissions are not visible. Probably we'll unlock the submissions after today night, okay, after the stream. So that is there, that will be there. But I think there is some restriction on gym, on Codeforce's gym. Okay. So I'll just quickly go through A, B, C. Like I think I'll go through all the problems and quickly their ideas, but make sure that you like watch the problems that are a little harder because there are a lot of good learnings. Let's start with the discussion. Everybody, quick +1. We can start now. Okay, so when I personally start with ICBC, I'll try to also give you idea that how should you do. When I start with ICBC, I have not seen any questions. Probably what I do is all the teammates in my team would start reading the questions randomly, and one of the team members keeps the track of the leaderboard, that if some question has been solved by any of the teams or not, right? So on the PC, one of the members is like refreshing the leaderboard once in a while and then also reading some questions, and everybody is reading random questions. If somebody clicks on one problem, they start coding that. But then the idea is that you have to be, one has to be on the leaderboard to see what if the people are seeing harder problems and somebody just quickly solves a problem, say A, in 2 minutes. If somebody is able to solve this question in 2 minutes, probably this is too easy to be solved, right? So if in the first 2 minutes nobody has started with the problem A and then some team has solved it in 2 minutes, then probably that question is a little easy. So you can also attempt that. So one person takes priority on that problem, right? That is how you delegate problems in most cases. And in fact, problem A was the most easiest one. You basically have three slots like A, B, C, like X, Y, Z, and then whenever you have like you can mark X, Y, Z as like X contains the ball, Y doesn't, and Z doesn't, and then there are certain operations. So you can keep track of which variable will finally have it. So if A is there, you swap the value of X and Y. If B is there, then you swap the value of Y and Z. If the C operation happens, then you swap the value of X and Z. And finally, after all operations, you can simply print which out of X, Y, Z, which one is there. You can use an array, that will be better, right? So simply going through the array 1, array 2, array 3. At the start, array 1 has the ball, and then you just do the operations one by one and keep swapping the values. That is how you can keep track of this. Okay, this is the first problem, straight away easiest one. Quick +1. If we are done with this, let's move to the next one. फटाफट +1 कर दो यार. And if you are on the stream, if you are enjoying, if you liked the contest, if you liked the effort from our side, please make sure that you like the stream, because that just helps more people get aware about things like this. Okay. Okay, next पे move करें. Let's move to the next one. Great. Okay. So second problem, this is essentially like the statement is a little complex to read, but simply like there are different points. There are like n number of points given to you. There are n points with X and Y coordinates, right? And between their X and Y coordinates, the distance is like some distance matrix is defined as this. Okay, you have to find the maximum distance between any 2 points possible. Okay, so distance between 2 points is defined by this particular metric over here. You have to find the maximum distant points across this, and there is another small criteria that the absolute of t zeros and things should work as well. Okay, I'll just quickly share the drawing tab once, and that should give you Just a second. So when you have x1 plus x2 plus y1 minus y2 as the metric, right? Given absolute of y1 minus y2 has to be less than equal to some eta, whatever the coefficient is, right? So obviously the y is more decider, like it's a difficult metric to measure, right? I mean, it's the deciding thing. And then this is basically saying that the distance between the y's should be less than eta, right? Whatever the value is given in the question. So probably what we'll do in such cases is maybe sort the things by y. So if you have x1 y1, x2 y2, x3 y3, and so on, you probably would sort it by the y values, sort by y. Why? Because now once you have sorted, suppose you know that y1 is greater than y2, without loss of generality, if y1 and 2 is there, you can basically swap the two values. So let's assume y1 is greater than y2, right? So if this is 1, 2 has to be smaller than this until a certain threshold. Like in this portion, you have to find if this is y1, this is y1 minus eta, y2 has to be greater than equal to this particular value. Okay, if y1 is this thing, when I say 1, it's basically this expression. Okay, so y1 minus eta has to be the threshold. So anything bigger than that is what is allowed. And in this range, you have to find what is the maximum possible value of this you can get. Okay. Is that how most of you did this problem? Yes or no? Let's go back. I'll show you one code. I hope I can see it. No, that's weird. Like I'm on admin permission probably. Yeah. So essentially you sort this by their y values and then you push it once you have sorted. Okay, this is a little laggy. I don't know why. Code forces is behaving a little laggy. But then basically, in this particular range, for the y2 part, it is nothing but x1 plus x2 plus y1 minus y2. So in this y2 part, okay, you are getting x2 minus y2 as the contribution, and for the 1 you are getting x1 plus y1. So if this is your 1, then you are getting x1 plus y1, and in this range you have to find the max possible value of x2 minus y2. Okay, so this is what you can possibly do. One thing that you can do to optimize, if you can possibly use segmentary and stuff also, but then one easy thing that you can possibly do is, as the y increases, even this threshold keeps running forward. So you can do something like a 2-pointer window over here, that if this is your one of the endpoint of the pointer, then the other one will be at some point, and in the window you maintain the best possible thing. So you don't want to use a data structure for this in general. You would want to use something simpler. I just want to show you a code which uses just normal, yeah, priority queue. Exactly. So you keep popping the elements that are no longer valid, and then you check the one that has the best, and then you insert the current elements y minus x in the, sorry, I think he has inverted this, x minus y in the priority queue. So you want to find the highest one which is still valid. So you maintain a priority queue of all the possible values of x minus y. Why is that? because we are saying x1 plus x2 plus y1 minus y2 is the expression. I am saying the current element we are trying to find is nothing but x1 plus x1 and y1. So you need to find before it what are the valid x2 minus y2s, right? So you maintain all the previous values in a priority queue with their x2 minus y2 being sorted with that particular property. So the best one will keep coming up. But if something becomes too far off, which means, which is mentioned in this part of the code, if whatever you pop out, the top element of the priority queue is too far, it's bigger than the eta, then you pop it off because it's no longer valid for you. And since it's more of a two pointer setup, the element that is once popped will no longer be a valid solution. So you can always get a solution using this. Okay, this is the idea for this problem. You sort by y and keep moving forward and then use, yeah, you can use dq probably also. Okay, clear everyone? Is the idea making sense to all? Pivot on one of the elements, search for the max of the contribution of the second element. That's what is the gist or the main idea of this problem. I have already shown the code. Probably all these things will be made available to you all as well after today's stream. But is the idea overall making sense? We have a lot of problems to cover, so I'll run a little faster. But then I hope all the idea is clear. The idea is clear at least. Clear to all? Quick plus one. Use DQ. Yeah, DQ is also fine. Okay, great. So build on this idea and solve this, try to solve the problem once in this direction, you will be able to do it. Okay, not very hard, but more of an STL problem. Okay, STL is, I think, one of the most underrated topics. Please make sure that you practice it really well. So this is given that there are two strings s1 s2 and you have to find two subsequence from each of them such that once you join them it becomes a palindrome. Okay, once you join the subsequence that you have chosen, it's a palindrome. There are multiple ways to solve this problem. Okay, but I'll show you the most interesting one that I would probably would have done when if I would have to code this problem. Okay, how many of you have heard the problem called longest common subsequence? Have you heard about it? Longest common subsequence? Yes or no? Longest common subsequence. It's a famous problem. It's a famous DP problem. Okay. So basically the idea of longest common subsequence is given two sequences, what is common between them. Okay. Great. Now if you think about it, a string is given to you. You have to find the longest palindromic subsequence. You have to find the longest palindromic subsequence. How do you find it? Yeah, exactly. So find the reverse of S and find the longest common sequence between the two things. LCS, the common sequence between the two is whatever is the longest common subsequence between the two is going to actually be a palindrome also, because it was present in S and it was also present in reverse of S. So it is present in both of them, number one, and it's common. Okay. So this is one thing that you need to know, that longest palindromic subsequence of a single string you should be able to find first. This is nothing but LCS of a string with its own reverse. Is this idea firstly clear to everyone? That LCS of S and S reverse gives you longest palindromic subsequence. This is the first idea you need to know for this problem. Firstly, is this clear to everyone for this problem? Quick plus one. Next, we'll move to the second part. Yeah, Akash, that also works, I think. I start off S1 and J at the end of, but you can do that, but there are a lot of cases to handle in that case. I would just show you another trick that you can use for such problems in the next cases. Yeah, longest palindromic substring. No, substring isn't that. Yes. Longest common substring of S and S reverse. I mean, it might be also true. I don't know. I'll have to see. It's not, because AB, no, it will not be the case. Okay, this is clear to all. S and S reverse, find the LCS using DP and you will get the answer. Exactly. Now what, like essentially the handle device has written on the chat, make this like given to, like what we need to now do in this question is from S1 you will choose something, from S2 you will choose something, and then make it concatenated to get the palindrome. So if there is a portion over here, from here you are choosing something, and then from here you are choosing two things, and this needs to be palindrome. Okay, is it not same as saying you are choosing 5 letters from here and that should be a palindrome, with the restriction that one character needs to be taken from here and one character needs to be taken from here? This is the string S1, this is the string S2. Something will be taken here, something will be taken here, and then the plus will needs to be palindrome. Is same as saying you just concatenate them together, and now you say that I just need to find the longest common subsequence where one character is taken from this side and one character is taken from this side. Does this make sense to everyone? This is the main idea of this problem. That if you concatenate and just solve for the longest palindromic subsequence, you will get the answer. The only thing you will have to track is, has one character been taken before this index and has one character been taken after this index? Right? So for an example, if you go back here, if you just take A and B, like you have to choose something from this side and this side and make it palindrome. It's same as saying that concatenate them. Okay, have a line here, find a longest palindromic subsequence here. Like you have to take one character from this side and then one more character from this side. So this is the thing. Okay, the longest palindrome that you can possibly make is this, but it doesn't take one character from this side of the line. So when you concatenate them, you have to ensure that one character is taken from this side and one character is taken from this side. So you can write dp of I comma j, the standard thing, and a 2 and a 2 probably, if you want 2 and a 2. तो उससे क्या होगा, you can basically, for that what will happen is you will be able to track, have you taken a character before this that has matched with its reverse or not. If this is the string and there is its reverse, I is moving on itself, j is moving on its reverse. If you take this, then probably you have taken the one that before it. If you take a character from here, that means this flag will get flagged. So this is the two things that you will maintain in the DP, that have you taken something before this, have you taken something after this, yes or no, is what you keep as a flag, and that will give you the like tracking key whether everything has been taken, like whether all the cases has been handled or not, whether one character from S1 has been taken and one character from S2 has forcefully been taken. This you have to ensure using the states of the DP. Okay, if you don't know how this is working, restrictions, always remember this. Whenever you have restrictions in a problem, it's about transforming the states of the DP to manage that restriction in most cases. Keeping a flag that whether something has been taken, whether something has been taken is what was needed in this problem. And rest is just DP, the same DP that we discussed on the top. Is everybody getting the idea how to think about this problem now? Probably. Okay, is this making sense? This is the main part of this problem. Rest all is DP implementation that you can have a look at somebody's code, or please show the code. Okay, sure. I'll show one code. So probably let's have a look at lot of template. This is basically a lot of DPs and stuff. There has been some checking and stuff that he has done. Not the DP I explained. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there are multiple solutions possible. I'm not saying this is the only thing. It seems complex. Okay. So longest palindromic subsequence check. This is basically the idea that you build the DP, that what is the longest palindromic subsequence in the range I to J, and then you force that first starting point is in the first string, second starting point is in the second string. If they are same, then take that and then force the rest inside in between them. This is another really good idea that you can possibly implement. Like you have the LPS code that in this portion I to J, what is the longest palindromic subsequence? Okay, and that there you can use, if the first and last letter are same, then you are getting +2, or else you have to delete one of the sides. So this is the LPS code. Just search for longest palindromic subsequence, you will get the DP. If you don't know about its DP, this is an LRDP written over here. Okay, now what this code does is, when you add the two strings S1 plus S2 in the string S, one character is forcefully taken from the first half, one character is forcefully taken from the second half, and if they are equal, then that will be like added together, plus the best you can find in between them is what you are trying to do with this DP. And this DP, since it has been pre-calculated, so it will just take 2000. This is probably the best piece of idea that you can use. Compile and conquer. I think compile and conquer. Let's see. What is the rank? अरे accept नहीं हुआ तो. Okay, you have done too much. Done too much. 2 into 2 plus होगा ना? I don't know what you're trying to do here. Is it enough in an official? Okay. Then it's very hard to find. Okay, let's do it. Okay. I think the code that I showed was much elegant. I feel you can use that trick itself. This is Shubham's code. Shubham was the setter for this contest. So this is the longest palindromic subsequence DP, and then you force one character first from one part and from the other part, and then rest is in the DP. Got it? Yeah. So This is the idea. And the other idea I told was the one that I showed. Okay, got it. Nice. Okay. Clear everyone on this particular idea? Yeah, send it. Okay, I'm not opening any more codes for now for this problem. We have to go through a lot of problems. So let's quickly go to the next one. Yeah, this is how masters write code. Yeah, I think this is a much better way to think about this. Okay. Quick plus one. If the idea is 70% clear, obviously, like there would be more follow-ups on this, and you'll have to finally code all these things. But then at least the initial part is clear. Okay, let's move to the next problem then. What is the expected rating of this problem? Yeah, this is, I think, 1500, 1600 rated, max to max. 14 to 1600 rated problem of CF. Okay. Not very hard, I would say. I mean, if you have done DP, it required DP. Okay. Next problem. This, of course, needed graph, right? This, of course, needed graph. So there is, if you read this problem, there is bunch of nodes and like labels are there. There are edges that are present. You have to find the minimum. If you want to maximize the least weighted edge that is used to sort these numbers. As soon as you read this statement, the thing that should click in your mind is probably maximize the minimum or minimize the maximum are the two keywords whenever you see in a problem. The first thing that should click in your mind is binary search to find this particular number. How to check is basically simply component finding. So first thing that you realize is if you have to maximize the minimum or minimize the maximum, probably this problem can be solved with a binary search. And once you know that what is the answer, everything less than equal to that, like maximize the least weighted edge. Yeah, so if you choose an answer X, everything above it is available. Okay, so all these edges will be there in the graph. Now you have to just check whether can you like fix all these things using these edges. So probably if you just take this sample and understand it once. Oh shit. Right. So if the binary search check, you say 9. So edges that are weighted greater than equal to 9 are available. Rest are deleted. So the graph looks something like this. Okay, these are the edges that were added because these are present. And now you have to check the labelings are over here 3, 2, 1, 4. Can you correct this using swaps? The answer is yes. Why? Because if the number and its corresponding node is in the same component, then you can always swap and get it to that particular place. Does this make sense to everyone? You can always swap and bring them to its correct place if they are in the same component. So if component number of X is equal to, if you are at a particular node, this has to be true. The component number, the component in which the node X exists is would be the same. Sorry, this X is nothing but 3. Okay, so if the node 3 should be in the same component as where the value 3 is present, because then you should be able to swap it and bring it here. Okay. And if you have anything, like if everything is wrong, you can always first swap and bring something to this point and then make it correct. Then you can swap and bring something to this to make it correct. Then you can swap and bring something to this and make it correct. And then you can swap these two and both will get corrected. So you can always bring this by just moving things to the extreme ends. Okay. So as long as this is true for all the nodes, the check should return true, or else it should return false. Rest, it's a binary search on answer. Binary search on answer is the paradigm that is used in this problem. Very similar to the problems like painter partition and all these. The simple giveaway for such things, I think if you haven't seen the binary search workshop that I have taught, probably watch it. There is nothing better than that to learn framework so that you can solve any binary search problem thrown at you like this. Obviously, it needs a graph idea too, but then this is a binary search problem. So if you go to simply here on the courses of mang.in, you will get the binary search course as well. You can complete this, and probably every binary search problem should be doable to you. This is super simple and elegant idea that you need to learn, and you will be done. Okay. The question language was a bit not understandable. Yeah. I think, yeah, I understand what you mean to say by these. But then the sample should have made it clear. A lot of times you have questions where the samples, where the statements are large and ambiguous. You should practice on that itself. Okay. Clear, everyone? Let's move to the next problem. We are done till D. Four more problem to do, probably three more only. Quick plus one, and we will move to the next one, which is E. Does only wrong submission, not AC, count in ICPC? No, no. You have to get AC to get counted, and the number of wrong answers before the AC in any problem is called the time penalty. Okay. Wrong answers before your first AC is the time penalty for you. Okay. I think it will be dependent on the judge, so I'll not say. But then runtime errors and TLEs are also counted. Compilation error might or might not get counted. Okay. Some guys did solve the last one. Probably they found the code somewhere. I mean, if I would have been in most of the places, I would have just banned the people who just solved the last problem because they found the code probably somewhere. Okay. Okay. Next problem. F was from CSCS Maths. Ooh. Okay. This was 100. Is this exact same problem available on CSCS? Kya? Moving robot. Okay. These were set like 3 4 years before. These are very old problems on Polygon. So you are given n points and you have to find the number of ways to choose 3 points so that they form right angle triangles. And the number of points is 10 to the power 5. So one thing I generally think about as soon as I read problems like this, triangle banana, I have to find a triangle, 3 points, and n is up to 10 to the power 5. So you have to always loop on something. किसी पे तो loop करना पड़ेगा, and then the other two you will find, other three you will find. Since n is up to 10 to the power 5, you can loop only one of them. If you have to find perpendicular, like things like this, probably you will loop on the point that is here, which is the right angled point. So say x comma y is the right angled point. So anything on this x equal to x and y equal to y will give you a suitable point to be used together with this point to form a right angle triangle, except itself, obviously, right? If you choose any point x comma y, any point on the same x followed by any point on the same y together can form a right angle triangle. If it's here, it will form like this and so on, right? So if you choose any x comma y, you have to just find frequency of same x multiplied by frequency of same y. On the same x, how many points are there? I'll subtract it out. Minus frequency of x comma y. It should not be at the same point, obviously. Multiplied by frequency of y. How many points are on the same y axis? Minus frequency of x comma y. If you just do this multiplication, you will get the number of triangles that has the right angle at this particular x comma y, and just loop over all the points. Loop on all points being this point, and then for that you have frequency of how many feasible are there on this point and this point, and you multiply the choices. This is how you count the number of right angle triangle from a given plane of points. Is this idea clear? Yes or no? Let's have a look at one piece, one code, so that you are clear. What is this behavior? Yeah. So he has just basically frequencies of y's. Yeah, probably. And not the best piece of code. But then anyways, anything that gets you accepted works. Since people are solving parallelly, you can have this. There is a point. How many points are there on the x-axis? How many points are there on the y-axis? Now for every point, you remove it from the x-axis and y-axis, you multiply them, and then you add them back. This is your simple solution. This is the perfect solution for this problem. How did you find the equation? Because it's counting. If this point is fixed, every point on the same x and every point in the same y, if you take these 3 points together, they will always form a right angle triangle. So I'm just multiplying these two. Okay. But then you should not count it with the same point itself. So you should remove that same point first from the two maps, whatever point you are going through right now. Okay. That's the thing. Clear, everyone? This is the code. Quick +1 if this makes sense. Okay. Nice. Next, let's move to F. Somebody is saying that this is similar to the problem moving robot. Probably, I don't know. I'll have to check. This might have coincided with some other problem. That's why people are able to solve it faster. So this is saying that after k moves, what is the expected number of cells that will be empty? Expected number of cells. So here we will need to use some probability. It's a little harder problem. Probably it's similar to a CSCS maths problem as well. So probably if you have solved the maths section, you can do this. But then we will have to use DP again. DP of I comma j comma k. Okay. So let me go back to the problem once. So each person moves randomly with this. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll do expected number of people in each of the cell. Essentially, that's what we'll try to find. Okay. So after zero move, this has one, 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 one. Okay, one person in each of one of them. Okay. Probably after one move, some ones will move in one of these three probabilities, right? It has all of these three equal probabilities. This has equal probabilities of doing these four movements, right? This has equal probabilities of doing these four movements, right? So probably what we can do in such cases is try to count the probabilities, right? And see what is the probability that, what is the expected number of ones in a particular cell, okay, after all the moves that are there. But if we find expected number of ones, if we will we be able to find the probability of that cell being empty? K is 100 and it's 8.8. Okay, so we will have this. So 64. Okay, I'll try to show you the linearity as well. See, you can simply find this. If you start from I comma j, what is the probability that you will end at x comma y after move k's? You can calculate this particular probability. I think this should be better than going into expected and stuff. If you start from I comma j and you want to end at x comma y, what is the probability that you will do that in k number of moves? Okay. So if there is a board and there is exactly one person who is standing at x comma y, after some random moves happening for k number of times, what is the probability that that person will end, sorry, I comma j, that person will end at x comma y? You have to find this number after k moves. Okay, so if it is over here, if there is some p probability that it will be over here, in the next move there is a p by 4 probability getting added to all these four neighboring cells, plus p by 4 plus p by 4 plus p by 4 plus p by 4, right? This is the way you will be able to find this probability, that in k minus 1 moves, if you are able to get to here with p probability, then in k all these four cells will get plus p by 4, right? And then eventually you will get, after k moves, some influence has been added here, that there is some p2 probability that it will be at this cell. Now what we have been asked is, what is the probability, what is the expected empty, okay, expected empty number of rooms. Now this is same as, with the linearity of expectation, this is going to be same as expected that cell 1 comma 1 is empty. This will, if, what is the expected empty number of rooms at 1 comma 1 plus expected at 1 comma 2 and so on, what is the probability of each of these cells being empty? If that is something you can find out, then that is what will add together to give you the expected number of empty rooms. Because linearity of expectation says that the number of empty rooms is nothing but the sum of how many each of these variables, variable 1, variable 2, variable 3, variable 4, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, is it empty, is it empty, is it empty, and so on, is equal to the final number of rooms. So expected of this is nothing but expected of 1 plus expected of 2 plus expected of 3. This is called linearity of expectation. Okay. And each of these you can find that what is the probability expected number of empty rooms at 1 comma 1 is same as probability that 1 comma 1 will be empty, and that is nothing but a particular cell x comma y will be empty if from any of the starting cells 1 minus probability that in k moves the 1 comma 1 cell guy didn't come to x comma y in k moves. The person that is at 1 comma 1 shouldn't come to x comma y in k moves, but this is the probability by which it will come. So 1 minus is the probability that it will not come. Multiply with 1 minus the probability that the person at 1 comma 2 cell will not come to x comma y. And if all of them don't come, then only the x comma y is going to be empty. So this is the probability. If you multiply them, will be the probability of that room being empty. Plug it over here for all the cells and you will get the answer. So this is a topic of DP plus linearity of expectation. If you have studied these topics, probably that is good. If not, CSCS maths section is something that you can probably solve after this if you haven't been able to solve this problem. Okay. Linearity plus DP is what is used in such cases. This is a topic of linearity plus DP. I think for those who, I think I recently added a miscellaneous class. In case you have an access to this, I'll just show once. So I was just adding some random resources on the day-wise course. Probably if you have this. In the phase 6, I have added advanced CP section, and here I have added probability and expected values. This contains linearity of expectation problems. This will not be in live classes, but you can cover it from phase 6 if you want. So phase 6 is once in a while I just keep taking random very hard topics in AZ. I just keep adding it in the phase 6. Okay, that's the place you will get it. So these are different phases we go through in the AZ premium course, which is starting from 7 December. Quick plug, but it's one of the best ones, so I always recommend that in case you are looking for one. So this is essentially the structure. You can have a look at it on the website. Okay. Chalo. So this is the problem over here. Next. Clear everyone? This is a maths plus DP problem. Complete CSCS maths. Probability DP plus expectation is what you need for this case. Okay, this is a hard problem, but I expect some plus ones if you are clear with this. Yeah, please expect probability problems in the contest. Okay. Okay. G problem seems to be the most easiest problem, but there was a small trick, like you need to know how to take modulo and bitwise ORs correctly. Okay. This problem is basically saying that if you have, see, I don't need to even read everything at the top. It's too much. Probably it's basically just take this array and XOR everything inside it and XOR of that m number of times. Okay, that is what is being asked in the problem. That's it. Now there is a very, very simple thing that you should know about XOR to solve this problem. XOR is x XOR x XOR x XOR x is actually equal to 0. In fact, x XOR x is equal to 0. Okay. If there are even elements of the same value, then they are 0. If x XOR x XOR x XOR x XOR x, if there are odd number of elements of the same thing, it's equal to nothing but x, because the first even ones will make it 0, and 0 XOR x is x. So this is nothing but a property that if something happens for even number of times, it gets cancelled off, and if something happens for odd number of times, then you have to print it. So in this case, the question was very simple. You have to take the XOR of the array, and if m is odd, in this case, see, m was given 3. Okay, if it's 3, then the answer is nothing but the XOR of the array elements, and then this is, if it's odd, so if it's even, then the answer is always 0. So I can show you the code too. Take the elements. If m mod 2 is 0, then this. Then take the XOR of array and then take a remainder. But if while taking XOR, if you take a remainder here, then this code is wrong. Read this. A lot of people have made this mistake. X XOR y XOR z mod m is not same as x XOR y mod m then XOR z mod m. This is not true. Please understand where you can understand when you can take modulo inside. This is not equal. A lot of you did this. And your question code got wrong. And some of you, I think, took n and m swapped. When you're solving first problem in new topic, will you solve it on your own? No. You should learn it in a structured way. I feel it takes a lot of time to learn a new topic. Clear, everyone? This is the only mistake that a lot of people made. Okay, I'll check. $472, you are saying? So who will take the modulo? There is a, you have to print, just add mod 10 to the power 9 plus 7, your code will get correct. There was a modulo in the problem also, no? You have to print whatever is the final answer, print it, even though it gets stored, but then you have to print it modulo 10 to the power 9 plus 7. Clear, Akash? Check the latest submission. Something of that sort would only be wrong. It will not show up here, it will be in up solving, so it's very hard to find now. मैं क्वेश्चन हाफ पढ़ा तो फिर रो फिर बैठ के all these mistakes are same. All these mistakes are same. Taking modulo inside, taking n and m swapped. See, XOR modulo inside the XOR. Every step is being modded. This is wrong. That's the only mistake. Test case 31. Don't worry, the test cases will get unlocked and you can find the issue by reading others' code. Rank 227. Accept तो हो गया? I think you did too many things, that's why. समथिंग वाज रॉन्ग. ये कोड तो पढ़ना पॉसिबल नहीं है मेरे लिए. कुछ तो भी है इसमें. Some test case would have failed probably. Some some probably test case. Yeah, this test case. I don't know. You can check manually later on. Go back to the screen. Okay, these things will be shown later. Chalo. So that is the F problem. G done. Finally, we are at the H problem. How many of you even want me to discuss H problem? Okay, if somebody has solved all 7 problems, you can reach out to me personally. I'll send you what exactly is needed in this problem. But if I just take the words that are needed for this problem, you will need convex hull DP optimization. You will need like graph optimizations and bunch of pre-computation. You will need a lot of good observation. You will need, I already tell cold convex hull, there is graph shortest path and solve. Okay. So if somebody who has solved 7 problems wants to know the solution for this problem, it's very hard. It's unlikely anybody would be able to solve this if they don't have the code. But if you want to know about this problem, reach out to me on LinkedIn or on Code Forces. Probably you know that I'm AC Raider. Just message me on Code Forces. I mean, this would be a 2500 probably problem. 2500, 2600 problem, rated problem. Okay. So if you have solved 7 problem, send me that you have solved 7 problems and you want to know more about this problem. I'll send you the idea for this. But ये कोई जरूरत नहीं है ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर पाने का अभी at this point in time. If you are not at 2100 at all अभी तक तो, and I don't think any team was as such. Okay. I think those who solved it might probably have gotten code somewhere. Okay. Okay. So price distribution. I hope all of you guys enjoyed this. Did everybody enjoy this contest? Quick +1. मजा आया contest दे करके. I mean, it was a learning contest. देखो यार, please don't think about prizes and ranks and stuff. अच्छा हुआ खराब. It's more about just a practice. But then I hope all of you enjoyed giving the contest and you learned a lot of things. Okay. This is how even real tests are going to be around. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. So this is there. Now probably a lot of you would have seen that there are goodies and prizes for this contest. I'll zoom it in once. So top 3 teams, probably I think you can see the leaderboard already. Okay. You will see the leaderboard already. You can already see the leaderboard and you know that which teams are the top 3. So if you have filled this form, so there is a process. Please make sure that individual profiles are 100% complete, which means you have to basically fill the address and stuff on the website on mang.in, and make sure to fill this form, because this form tells us about, I'll show once, what is the team name, what are the email IDs of all the members, and what are the Code Forces profiles of the team participant on mang.in. So like just make sure that your email IDs are there of the participants. That's it. The same email ID should be there on mang.in as well, website. For F, I have already explained F. I have already given this. Okay. And like you will be contacted on the main email ID that you give over here and you'll be reached out. Okay. So make sure to fill this. Finally, there is random goodies also. Okay. So I thought I'll like announce the names, but then just for all of you who are over here, I'll give you another chance. Okay. The random selection will also happen from people who upsolve the contest a lot more. Okay. So the probability of you getting selected on the random is simply the number of problems is proportional to the number of problems that you have solved, including upsolving. Okay. The probability of you getting selected in this random selection is going to be equal to the number of questions that you have solved either there or in the upsolving. Okay. And finally, whoever gets the lucky draw in that, I'll show you the process. I'll send you, like once that script is ran, I'll send you the script and the seed generator as well if you want to test it yourself. I'll get the names from there, and you can. Those will be the people who will get it. Anyways, I'll announce it on the Telegram. I hope all of you are already on my Telegram. तभी तो meet पे हो, इस link पे हो, stream पे. Okay. So this is essentially what I would probably ask you all. Solve at least six. Upsolve already 6-1. Websites pe goodies. So go to the mang.in website and complete. So go to mang.in and complete your profile 100%. That's the main target. Over here, if you go to your profile, this has to be 100%. That's it. If you are able to do it, you will be eligible for it. And majorly, this is there because make sure to fill this goodies and delivery section. Okay, this goodies and delivery section, here the addresses of individual people and their alternate numbers and everything will be taken, and it will be given to you all. Okay, clear everyone? Great. वेबसाइट पे goodies कब अनलॉक होगा? थोड़े टाइम में यार, थोड़े टाइम में. नॉट द हाईएस्ट प्रायोरिटी. देयर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स कमिंग अप. अभी जैसे वो डार्क थीम कंप्लीट हो रहा है, दैट विल कम फर्स्ट. ओके. Okay, then, chalo. I think that was all for the discussion for now. Those who have solved 7, just reach out to me. I'll send you the link of the problem, 7th, 8th problem if you want to read more about it. But then I think it's no longer needed. Okay. Yeah, KC contest discussion will be separately there. Sundar will take it. Don't worry. Okay. There's one more contest for another. So these contests were also for specific colleges where we like provide trainings. So make sure that we had another contest, practice contest. So for that there will be another discussion stream, internal discussion stream. Okay, Anand. But I hope both of those were good learning for you. Is performance in this contest comparable to this? Yeah, I feel it is comparable. But then the number of questions will be lesser, so that's also there. One or two questions people could find on net, maybe 2-3 problems, so that's also there. But I think anyways, even in the original contest also this might happen, so it's not that easy to check. Okay, great. Chalo, I think this is all from my side today. Thanks for joining in, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed the discussion. We'll keep having more such learning contests if you guys encourage it more. Please be active on the Telegram. I keep posting on over there. If you always like, if you always be active there, I think probably you'll get a lot more values. So make sure that you don't miss messages there. And there's many more things that we're gonna do in future too, for ICPC, for many more practices, for companies, for OAs, for mock tests and everything. Probably a lot of things going to be there in future. So, and the new platform only says correct answer or wrong answer. I don't know. That's the ICPC thing. Yeah, I think they are still figuring out everything. Probably they will be there. I don't speak for the official ICPC setup, but yeah, probably that will be there. Anup, like, I don't know if you know about the Telegram group. You can search for ICPC India on Telegram, and there is a Telegram group. You can join there and ask doubts. Okay. Okay. Chalo then. This will be it from my side today. Thanks for joining in, everyone. See you in the next one. Bye bye.